Hey, what's up? How's it going, guys? Hope you are doing very well. I'm super excited to give you guys an update. I know it's been a long time since I've showed anything with the Jeep. I've been doing a lot of just kind of like talking in front of my computer type videos, and I'm glad to finally get back to the project at hand and hopefully off-road it very soon. Honestly, those are my most favorite kind of, fun videos to make. But just before we get started, I want to do a quick PSA because every time I make a video on the Jeep or bring up the Jeep, there's a few, and there's not a lot, I would say maybe 50 of my 10,000 subscribers, random people that, have a huge problem with it. And they get very offended that I'm no longer making Humvee videos for the time being, or they don't like Jeep Wranglers, or a Wrangler person hurt them when they were a child or something. I don't know what it is. So I just want to do this quick public service announcement, and I thought it would be best to do it by acting it out in a quick little sitcom type format. All right, how you doing, guys? I got a super sweet Jeep video planned for today, and what was that? Where's the Humvee? Why did you get rid of the Humvee? I hate Jeeps. Jeeps are Barbie vehicle. Jeeps are for girl. Wrangler, I hate Wrangler. You need the Humvee, man. Yeah, Jeeps are girl. Yeah, Humvee, manly vehicle. Okay, not quite sure I caught all of that. I don't really know. There's a lot to unpack here. I've never personally needed a vehicle to feel more manly. I typically just, go to the gym. You stupid millennial, I guess you need you stupid, of course you got a Jeep, They don't make real men like me anymore. I drive a decrepit old military surplus vehicle, and I've never upgraded anything on it. I'm a master on this, you know nothing. Look, bro, you don't have to be on the channel. You know what I mean? You're welcome to unsubscribe. I won't, take it against you or anything. You don't have to be here. Oh, you bet your ass I'm gonna unsubscribe unless you start doing more Humvee videos. I will unsubscribe so fast. Okay, then leave. Nobody's gonna miss you. This isn't like your local JC Penney where you torture the teenage girl at the counter. You can just leave. I do this for fun. I don't need you. So, don't let the door hit you on the way out, I guess. Well, that's what you get because I'm gonna leave. I swear I'm gonna leave because you went to those girly Jeeps and not my manly Humvee anymore. And what happened to you? You're just a millennial soy boy. Here, buddy, I'll get the door for you. It's wide open. Go ahead. You can just, you know what I mean? Just kind of. No one's gonna judge you. No one will even know you left. There's like 10,000 others. So just slide on out. You can do the moonwalk. I'm leaving right now. I'm taking my hat. I'm leaving. You've lost my business. I hope your manager hears about this. I'm gonna write an 8-paragraph dissertation about how much of a stupid millennial you are. Well, let me grab my keyboard. I'm back for now. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to the fun stuff and talk about the Jeep. And I know, I passed up a long, undoubtedly fruitful career in Hollywood. And also, secondly, that wasn't a slight at Blues fans. It was just the only hat I had lying around. So, I like the Blues. All right, big reveal for now. It's 90% of the way into what I'm going to call phase 2. I'm not doing the motor swap yet or anything like that, but it's 90% into just, anyway, I'll show you. All right, you ready? Let's go. Check it out. Now, for those of you who are just coming onto the channel now, This may not look like much to you, but you should have seen this thing when I first got it. It was far different, far different. But I'm just going to kind of go through what I've done because it's been a lot. I'll just kind of walk around and show you all what I've done to this nasty, decrepit old YJ. So first things first, we've got every bit of armor on this, bumpers, everything is Smitty built, by the way. So we've got the Smitty built front bumper, got rid of that nasty, bent up old custom-made bumper that was on there from the dude I bought this from. I retained the old winch. It works fine. It looks terrible, but hey, it works. So I retained the old winch there. But I like this bumper. It's really simple. It doesn't really cover up the front wheels too much. I actually wish it was more stubby. So, you know, the front wheels could completely clear it. You can see they just barely don't clear it. So that would have been cool, but whatever. I can always cut it if I want to. I've got new headlights. Those were just off of Amazon. I think they look pretty sick, actually. Walking around. This is a big one. We've got the tube fenders. These are awesome. That's why you can see my whole wheel like this. I love this look. Still got to do some wiring of the blinkers, but these are so cool. It's just solid steel. Also a Smitty built item. I mean, these are really cool. And we've also got it on the rear here. And I mean, just look at that wheel clearance. That's crazy. I'm running 31s right now. I should have really bought bigger tires. I want to go to 35s. But I mean, you could fit a 747 through there. So I'm pretty happy with that. I can definitely upgrade to some bigger tires. I've also, as you probably just saw, have the rock rails on here. I had to do some custom trimming and stuff to get these to fit. Excuse me, with these fenders. So, but I was able to do that, no big deal. Did some trimming, some painting, drilling new holes, stuff like that. And I think these look fantastic. I really like the look of those rock rails. And it'll save my rockers. So that's really cool. I also went ahead and mounted my high lift jack to the hood. Yeah, I can probably use it on those rock rails. Up till now, I couldn't use that. I just did it because I had it and, you know, it looks kind of cool and blah, blah, blah. But now I can actually use my high lift jack, so I'm no longer a poser. That's great. I've got this little scoop right here. This just directs air into the HVAC, or whatever you call it, intake, a little more fast when you're driving, so it should help with the heat. You know, just it'll help it blow more volume of air into the cabin. I've got this light bar from Blackout Customs, sort of a cheap to mid-range light bar. It's really freaking bright. I can't really show you in the garage. It's not a good demonstration of how bright it is because it's bright in here. Even if it was dark in here, it's just, I don't know, it's hard to do on camera, but I'll show you in the future. I've got these brackets, forgot who they're from, but really cool. They just mount to the windshield hinges, and then you mount the light bar straight to that, so that's awesome. As you guys saw in the last video, I still got the new top. Let's go around, see if I did anything in the back. I don't think I have anything new. I did add a little bracket right there so the soft top can actually mount how it's supposed to the tailgate and not like flop around and all that. So this thing has gotten about 6 inches of lift since you last saw it. So I went with the Rough Country system. Say what you will about Rough Country, but they've got really good customer service and, you know, good instructions and everything. And I think most people use it, so I figured I'd use it. I have a lot of help and resources and all that, as opposed to a less common lift. So it seems pretty quality so far, but I got the 4-inch lift springs, and those went in really well. I got I think these are 2-inch lift shackles. If I remember correctly, I ordered those separately, but they are boom shackles or boomerang shackles. You can look up why that's good, but those are really trick. Same deal on the rear. I went to all new bushings and stuff, had a fun time changing those out. New chassis bushings, you know, new bushings wherever it was needed. So those went in well. So with just those combinations of parts, you know, the springs and the shackles, that's about 6 inches of lift, which is awesome. It also got new shocks on it from Rough Country. I think they accidentally sent me their super nice expensive shocks for the front, and I ordered the cheap ones. So I feel like I got 2 of the expensive ones on the front, and I've got the 2 cheap ones on the rear because they're labeled differently, and you can notice how buttery those feel, and those just feel like normal shocks. So it's kind of interesting. What else? All right, let's go to the interior because there is some cool stuff in here I got to show you. Pop open the door. Check out those freaking seats, man. I'm so pumped about that. So I put these in. These are Corbeau seats. I forgot what model they were exactly. You can probably just search Corbeau and match them up if you want. But these fit fantastically in the Jeep. I mean, these are awesome, awesome seats. And what's really cool is supposedly they're supposed to be designed for a Jeep Wrangler, so they're not overly huge. They barely fit. I shouldn't say they fit fantastic as far as width. That's very close, and I don't think I'd be able to run a center console. I mean, it would be close. But the door actually pushes against the seat a little tiny bit when it's closed. No big deal. Kind of annoying, but just barely. But what I was getting to and what's really cool is they sell brackets for these. So I don't have to fab up seat brackets. I freaking hate fabbing up seat brackets. So I'd rather just spend the money, and it's worth my time to just spend the money and get the brackets that'll just bolt in. And it really did. It bolted right in, minimal. I don't think I had to do any fabrication there. It just went right in, which is awesome, even with my janky old Jeep. And they're at a perfect height. I'm about 6 foot tall. I'd say a perfect height for me. They're very, very comfortable. As you can see, they're basically bucket seats. They do allow you to retain the factory seat belts and just run that, which I'll probably do for now. Maybe in the future, if I get bored, I'll put harnesses in it. But I actually don't really like 5-point harnesses for the street. I've driven race cars before, and the big shtick about a 5-point harness, in my opinion, is you have to couple it with a neck restraint device. Otherwise, you're basically just creating something that completely holds your body and not your neck. So the forward momentum, and let's say a head-on collision, your body will not move, but your neck will snap forward. And I just don't like the idea of that. That's just my own bro science, maybe that's not proven or it's never been tested, but it seems logical that could happen. What else have I done? I've done some small stuff. I added a little cup holder. It's got a radio in it now. I can't play anything because I'll get demonetized, but I just put in a cheap Pile radio, and then I added these kicker speakers. It just has 2 front speakers at the moment, and honestly, it sounds really, really good. I'm really happy with it. I also added, I do this on all my off-road vehicles, but a little cargo net up top where I can throw like jackets and stuff and whatever. So I think that's really cool. It's always super convenient. Oh, and I added sunshades. It's the little things. I really did that just to cover up all the holes that have been drilled over the years from other sunshades that have been added. Close this door again. And then the other thing I did was I returned these to their factory position, which is like, I guess what you would call a 45-degree angle. I like the look of the wipers being at that angle. I think it looks really tough. I understand why people want to get it out of the way, but I'm used to driving a Humvee. The visibility is so much worse, so anything is an upgrade from that. And I really, really like those at that angle. It just looks cool, man. I think it looks really neat. I will be adding a Spartan locker, which is under here. I'm putting that in the rear end. What else am I doing? I'm doing a permanent lock system on the front axle. And not like a locker like it's going to lock the diff, but like a locker as in it's going to lock in the, I guess you could say the drive shaft to the transfer case, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain, but it basically makes it so when I shift this thing into 4-wheel drive with the shifter here, the selector, well, you can't really see, but it's there, I promise. When I shift into 4-wheel drive, it will be in 4-wheel drive. I don't have to pull an additional lever to lock in the drive shaft or anything like that, which is what you normally have to do on Jeep YJs. Or actually, it normally is supposed to be vacuum operated, but it always breaks, and then you can't get into 4-wheel drive, so you install this lever system that, in my opinion, also doesn't work very well, and that's why I'm doing that. Anyway, you probably didn't need to know all that, but whatever. So I think it looks fantastic, man. This thing is a real beast all of a sudden. I mean, it is freaking crazy. And yes, before you comment, I have a plan for getting it out of my garage because it's over the roof. of my door or whatever. So I do have a plan for that. Don't worry. But yeah, this thing has really come a hugely long way. And oh man, let me give you a view from the front again. Like, that is just so sick. I can't wait. I'm sure it looks a little bit bigger and better in person. But I hope you guys can see how much of a different animal this unit is now as opposed to when I first got it. But with some 35s on it, I know from personal experience, this thing is just going to be an absolute weapon on the trail. You know, it's not going to be like a $80,000 rig or anything like that. But for what it is, I've got maybe 15 in it, I think right now, around 15,000. It's going to be way more capable than anything I've had in the past. It's just hard to beat big tires and short wheelbase, and it's tiny short wheelbase, and also it's very light. So it's almost like a street legal version of a side-by-side. And if you ever look at side-by-sides, man, you see them and you think, oh, those little dinky things, how do they do good off-road? But then they'll freaking outclass basically any street legal vehicle on the trail, any, full-size lifted Silverados, whatever, with ease. So it's kind of the same thing that applies to these old two-door Wranglers. They're super light, super short wheelbase, and they just do not care. They will go over basically anything. So I'm excited to put my money where my mouth is and test that and show you guys in some videos, some wheeling and dealing. But that's really it for now. I've got the shackles on the front bumper there. That looks pretty good if I do say so myself. I'm also going to go to new wheels so I can get my 35s on here. And I think I'm going to keep these just for the street. These are just little 31s. But yeah, that's about it. All right, this is probably a little bit of a longer video, especially with that goofy intro, but I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I will see you in the next time, whatever. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, and goodbye.